baby. Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. I'm live. I don't know if that link's going to work. Let me know. If the link don't work, I guess I'm going to have to send emails. I think that link will work, though. I think if you were to click on that link, then it would work just fine. What's cool about this is I don't have to let everybody on. It only lets up to like 6 people. So we'll see. What is up, everybody? Is there only one person watching my show right now? There he is. So Drew is here. Okay, so I can go add to stream. Awesome. So
Whoa.
Drew is here.
There we go.
Now I need to try to see if I should plug this in. I think I should.
Should always plug stuff in. Better in than out.
Yeah.
Damn, super cropped. I need a haircut. Y'all
Yeah.
can't look at me today.
I need a haircut.
Dude, my hair's like, look at this.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a bit on the ridiculous
how
side.
long my hair is? I can't hear. Damn it!
Damn it, Bobby.
Why can I not hear? I can't hear, so hold on. Talking? Not talking. 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 Oh,
Let's see. Let me pop chat out so I can see what the fuck's going on.
why is it in and out? I think the terminals are bad.
Uh-oh. What's up, William Matthews, Clayton? I need to find some 6 milligram juice because there's too much bullshit going on in the world and it's pissing me off.
Yeah, the world's stupid.
It really fucking is, man.
Now, do you hear an echo?
I don't. I did it first, but that's because I had the YouTube stream open and playing when I joined the broadcast studio, so I had like 2 things going.
I didn't hear the last thing you said because my speaker was acting funny.
I was just bitching.
Yeah. Do you hear an echo when I talk?
I don't.
Or when you talk? Okay. All right, good. Good. So if anybody in the chat how come there's only 3 people here? What the fuck is that?
It's because they saw me coming on. They all ran scared.
Educate yourself. Educate yourself. You need to educate yourself. You need to educate yourself. That's
What's They're like, name? Shit, that drunk guy's gonna be on next YouTube.
Your camera looks really good. It does.
Thank you. It does for now. Honestly, YouTube compresses like a motherfucker to the point where this like 720p looks kind of shitty for what it is. It should look better than it does, but I'll take it, I guess.
Yeah. It's what are you just have regular lights on right now?
No. I have my like actual room lights. I don't have the one directly over me on because it gives like hellacious shadows, but you can see it's a recessed like high-end LED. Then I have the other one over there, but then in front of me, like that's where my computer is, and I have a giant 36-inch Octabox over there, and then I have another softbox coming in and giving fill light from the other side. So I have video lights going on right now.
Yeah, that's probably why it looks really good like that. Now, do you feel like you need sunglasses?
No,
No.
it's not like super bright in the room. It's just that I have a light coming directly into my face, so it gives me like even lighting, like all across everything. Whereas usually with room lights, you have a lot more like harsh highlights or something like showing up on like part of your face. Where I have everything kind of balanced now. Big G, what's up,
Yeah.
mofo?
How's it going?
Good, man.
There you go. There's got to be. Let me play with this real quick because I want to see what happens here.
Oh, I
That's
like that.
probably better. Yeah, that one's better. All right, what's up, Big G? Listen, I could have up to like 6 people in here. There's a link in the chat if anybody wants to join. But if I do get, I would like to have around 4 or even 6 is fine. If I do get above 6, I can't even bring people in. It's not even like, I only want 6. This streaming service only allows 6 at a time.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get shit for free. They start limiting things.
Yeah, exactly. I think I may pay for this. It is more than Zoom.
Really?
But yeah, it's like $16.99.
I started paying for it as well.
Yeah. So I think
That's cool.
It looks pretty cool. So
You get a lot more customization. You can do like your banners and stuff. And
yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, by the way, Nick. Cheers for this.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I heard this from Nikki B was talking about this because if you don't have 1,000 subscribers, you can't go live unless you go through another stream thing.
Yeah.
So StreamYard is way around that.
You can do it on mobile, but you can't do it on like YouTube's Creative Suite. So if you're doing it through your computer, you can't just hit go live. But if like I can pull up here, I'll show you. I can pull up on my cell phone. If I go through the YouTube app, let's see if I can do this all reversed and shit. So if I go to the little video icon, I can hit go live and it'll tell me I'm not eligible, right? Or so it's the other way around. Rather, you can't do it on mobile, but if you log into your PC account and go through the Creator Suite, you can go live on a PC with fewer than 1,000. But you can't anymore just jump on your phone and go live.
Yeah, that sucks too because that's how much start. That sucks.
Yeah, that's most people's only option for doing it. I mean, not everybody has a high-speed internet connection and a laptop that's capable of handling a stream. So for a lot of people, it kicks them out of being able to use YouTube Live at all.
Yeah, if that happened 3 years ago, I wouldn't even be here because I did it on my phone. That sucks. That really sucks. So, what are you guys doing? Were you guys building it all, or just hanging out?
I'm just hanging out. I thought about trying to get in a build going, but I mean, at this point, I've just gotten everything kind of set up in here. I don't want to fuck it up yet.
It's good to see you back again, no joke, honestly.
Oh yeah, man. I'm super stoked to get back at it and try and get like the goal is going to be like a build a week or so, but I mean we'll see how that goes.
I said it to Philip Turton when he gave up for that wee while when he came back, and I was like, holy shit, my Instagram feed is going to be graced with your presence again.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny because watching like all these like the builders that are either just starting or they're still only like a year or two into it, you see them put up all these builds, and for some reason that pressures you to do a lot of builds at a time when it's really it don't matter. It just, for some reason, you feel pressured to do bigger, better, and more. And it's like, that's only you telling yourself that. It's not really a thing at all. But it's just funny how people act.
As far as the algorithm goes, they like to see posting on a like fairly regular basis. But I mean, when you have people like Tobias, who, you know, he's sitting on like 200 or 300 pictures to upload, so he's able to post basically whenever he fucking feels like it.
He's 3 months ahead.
He's
got 3 months worth of stuff.
So far ahead. Yeah, he's got like 3 months or so of content. I mean, that's I mean, it's a brilliant way to do it. But when you're doing it the way that a lot of us do it, which is, okay, do the build, then take pictures, then post immediately. If you don't have that kind of like backup, your channel or your feed kind of seems really stagnant to a lot of people now. And because you have so many other channels now, like Kent for Twisted Messes and, you know, everybody else, that they have that like backlog of shit. Their feeds never seem to ever run dry of fresh new content, and so a lot of new builders think that there's no point in getting into the Instagram game or anything unless you're going to be posting 3 or 5 or 7 builds a week. It's like, trust me, not even the people that are posting 3, 5, 7 builds a week are doing those in a week. They didn't post anything for 3 months, and they built up 3 to 4 months of content to be able to come on and post whenever they felt like it.
Yeah. I remember I used to do like 6 pictures a day, and it'd be crazy. So,
What'd you get?
What's up, little man?
Oh, man. He went to, I don't know if you guys watch America's Got Talent, but the little ventriloquist, like 12 or 13-year-old girl that won, Darcy Lynn, they went and saw a performance from her tonight. So he got himself one of the mini versions. Oscar, apparently, is his name. So he's got a little ventriloquist dummy now.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's like a really good singer, right? That does.
Yeah, she does ventriloquism, but like makes the dummy sing and sing very, very well. So
yeah.
She closes her teeth and does
not in the picture. If you want to talk to everybody, say what you're gonna say.
She doesn't move her mouth at all, right?
Mhm. So it's like they're actually singing.
That's very talented, and she's probably only a little bit older than you are.
Yep.
That's like, for somebody to learn that, I can't do that.
I can't sing to begin with, so she's got a leg up on me, like just standing on stage without a puppet.
Oh, I can't even I don't even know how to get my hand in the puppet. I'm not.
We as adults, though, we have got the disadvantage where you can still see that moving up and down every time we talk.
Yeah, exactly. We're at a natural disadvantage for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go eat your quesadilla, bud.
I gotta get to this. How come there's only 7 people watching? What's the deal with that? I feel like
I already told you, Nick.
I never got the notification on it.
And everybody was like, I'm not watching this shit show.
They knew my ugly face for radio was coming on. That's what it was.
it's just a weird number, because that just seems like something went wrong.
See, I never got a notification. It was up live. That's why I only just came in about 5 minutes ago.
I don't think I did either.
I know why.
Yeah.
I know why.
No, I didn't get a notification.
Because I went live just a little bit ago, and it probably didn't give out a notification at all.
Check this out, though. Here's what I can do. I'm gonna pop over to my YouTube, and I'm gonna go live on my YouTube and tell everybody to come fucking over here.
Good idea. I'm gonna do the same.
Can you?
All 5 people can see that I'm on.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll go from like 7 to at least 10 for me doing that. So.
Yeah. All 5 of my subscribers can see.
You're gonna see everybody leave. Go, woo! Big G's on. He's gonna leave.
Yeah. That Shrek-looking motherfucker.
Maybe I should get my phone and tell people on Instagram. There's Kim.
Thanks, Clay. So I don't know. I think Clay's having bother getting on.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was looking forward to seeing what the fuck it looked like.
See, what the fuck, man? I hate this new fucking creators suite for YouTube. It's not helpful at all.
That was a nightmare. Like the frame rate on IG was just a hell of a lot tighter. I don't know why.
Yeah, so the actual video quality, if you have like an insanely good internet connection, is all right on YouTube, but the video quality itself is between Instagram and YouTube is just shit.
Yeah.
Like on YouTube, it fucking compresses the hell out of everything and makes everything look horrible.
See, I've noticed a lot of bigger YouTubers are going live now, though, so hopefully they'll get the proverbial finger out of their ass and sort it out.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go live out of OBS because fuck it, it's so much easier. So I'm just gonna hit start streaming. Yep, I don't even know what the stream setting is. I don't know what the fuck the name of the video is gonna be. It's probably gonna be the like. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay.
Crazy Face McGee just went live.
Woo! Somebody got a notification. Look at that. All right, there we go. So the stream is live. Everybody go the fuck to Nick's channel because YouTube bullshit and nobody got notifications. So do that.
Now, my question is what was I just going to say? Oh, Drew, do you use a laptop right now?
I do.
Okay. So you're streaming through that and would you edit video on your laptop?
Yes.
Yeah? I think I got to get another computer soon, but I would like it to be mobile.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, any model of Dell XPS 15 will be good enough for you to at least start out editing video in most of any of the editors. I like HitFilm Express. They have the free option as well as DaVinci. DaVinci Resolve is really good but that's more like a vlogging thing where you're going to get into color correction and doing like stabilizing and all that kind of stuff. So if you're moving around, like filming on, like a DSLR and you're walking around with it on like a Joby tripod all the time and moving around and shit. As far as like the standard YouTube style shit goes, I recommend HitFilm Express because it's super easy to just drag clips over. The audio gets brought in with it. You can adjust audio levels between clips and all of that, and it's really intuitive and easy to use. But if you run into snags with it, I know enough about it to kind of walk you through it in 10 or 15 minutes to get your first upload up. It's super easy to use.
Okay. Yeah, if I know that a laptop could handle that shit, just streaming and editing video, I could have it just for that. That would be good.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm using right now is a HP Pavilion laptop that is not at all optimized for streaming or video editing. It just happens to have a standalone graphics card that can eat up some of the additional CPU load that would normally bog down most other laptops if they didn't have a separate GPU with its own processing cores.
Okay.
Because if you get like a dual core, i5 processor in a standard laptop, the minute you go to start editing like 1080p video, it's going to be like, sorry, bro, you're shit out of luck. Like, I can't handle this. So you're not going to be able to see the video render in your editing software. And then when you actually go to export it and upload it to YouTube, it'll either drop frames or you'll have like sections where the screen's just black and like the audio will keep running, but there's like no video to it and it'll just freeze up on you.
Do you know a good guy to speak to about computers for broadcasting as well? Is Metal to the Core.
Yeah.
He's a good one because he used to do like Twitch game streams and all the rest of it as well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, most things that are labeled as gaming laptops are going to have a standalone graphics card, and the graphics card that's in them is going to be fairly substantial. So if you want to go to like Best Buy or some shit and just pick up a laptop and a brick and mortar that you're going to be able to bring home, just plug everything into and start streaming, look for things that are called gaming laptops. Now, some of them are going to be kind of lower end, so you'll have to look into like graphics cards and what's a better graphics card versus a worse graphics card, like anything with a TI series from like GeForce, which is an NVIDIA, I guess, like sister company or one of their brands that they own. If it has a GeForce anything TI in it, it's probably going to be good enough for what you need. The easiest thing, in my opinion, to tell most people is pick up a Dell XPS 15 because they don't have shared graphics where the CPU itself is handling all of the graphics overload. They have a individual graphics card, so the graphics card can take some of the computing power away from the CPU. So that you're not going to bog down the system. Outside of that, get a MacBook Pro. If you have the money for it, MacBook Pros are awesome for creators. It's kind of like the comparison that I always use between like an Apple computer, a Windows computer, and then a computer running Linux is an Apple computer is like a tricycle, right? You can pedal your fucking ass off and you're not going to get super high speeds on it, but you're also not going to be able to crash it unless you really fucking try. With a Windows-based PC with kind of the same specs on it, it's like a mountain bike. You're going to have a lot more free range, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to crash. And then if you run Linux, it's like trading in that mountain bike for a Ducati motorcycle. You better know what the fuck you're doing or you're seriously going to fuck shit up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely something I'd probably look into is just getting a streaming computer, looking it up, making sure I get something particularly for streaming. That's all I really do is like this is like all YouTube. It's just that's all I do with this computer. If I'm in here, I'm live, and if I'm not in here, I may be watching maybe Netflix sometimes, but I don't do anything else with it. So
I mean, honestly, I don't know why you're wanting to go the laptop route because you're going to come out a lot cheaper getting a CPU tower that's going to be higher spec'd at a lower cost than what you're going to have to try and cram into a laptop case to get the same results out of. If you're not just like hardcore about it being a mobile computer, then I would definitely go the standard desktop route instead of a laptop. So you're going to save a lot of money. You'll have a lot more options. You can even go through a couple of different companies that you tell them what you want to do, and it will custom build the specs of the PC for what you want. Yeah. And you're still going to come out cheaper than buying like a $1,400 or $1,500 laptop.
Yeah, a lot of the computers that you buy in the shops have got so much shit thrown in, just so it can cover everything, gaming, photography, video, whatnot, so at least if you're going to get, like Drew said, a tower, you can take out all that shit and just buy just only what you need. That's what Danny was telling me earlier.
Or if you want, I mean, obviously don't pay any attention to the one that came from The Verge, but I can send you some like laptop or not laptop, but computer building tutorials, and it's super easy to buy the components and put them together yourself. The only issue that you run into is, okay, you start with what motherboard style you want to use, and that's going to tell you what other components will work with that motherboard. So you kind of build from there. You pick a motherboard, you pick a CPU, you pick a graphics card, you pick a cooling unit, a power supply, and essentially from there, then it's your monitor and keyboard and everything else. And it's all plug and play.
Great. I'm going to be honest. I ain't doing that. I don't do that shit. I better just pay somebody.
I mean, a lot of people would rather not do that. Which is why I started out saying, there's a lot of companies that you can talk to and say, this is what I need a PC to be able to do, and they will build it for you and just ship it to you. You plug in the monitor, your Ethernet cable for the internet, and your keyboard, and you're good to go.
I know how that road goes. If I fucking start doing that, then I'm going to be building computers the rest of my fucking life.
Yep.
I don't even know.
That's the issue that I had. I think I built my first computer when I was 12 or 13 years old. And I think I've built like 7 or 8 since then.
Yeah. My brother is good at that too. So if I really need it, he could do that shit.
Yeah, get your brother in on the bitch work. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Just tell him, hey man, this is what I need. Go have fun. This is what I need. This is the budget that I have. Here's the money. Make it happen. And I guarantee you, within like 6 to 10 days, he's just going to come over to your house with a CPU tower and a new monitor with like a 144 hertz refresh rate, and be like, here you go, man. And you just plug everything in and fucking take off.
Yeah, that's what I need. Yeah. I need a computer, bitch.
See, I've just been lazy because now I edit in Lightroom and I'm getting into Photoshop and all this other kind of shit. And the laptop that I have is not built for that at all. But I'm sitting on like 3 or 4 different computer cases with 2 different motherboard sizes that I could spec the fuck out. But to me, it's not a hobby. It's a pain in the ass. So I just don't want to do it. I'd rather, even though I know that for significantly less money, I could spec out one of the pre-existing computers that I have. I would rather just buy another fucking tower with everything already in it and plugged in, and know that I'm not going to over torque a screw or fuck some shit up somewhere, and just plug it in and go.
See, I was on Zoom earlier on with Metal to the Core. He was trying to get me up and running with OBS. So while I was in Zoom, you can hand over remote control of your computer. So I'd done that, so that saved me having to go and explain what everything was. So
that's awesome.
This is actually my missus. This is her laptop, so there's nothing dodgy on it. Nothing dodgy. If there is, it's hers. But anyway, so I gave him the remote control, and he's in looking, and he's like, "Yeah, this isn't going to cover it. This is not going to cut it at all." I'm like, why? He says, that CPU and everything that's about 13 years old. I'm like,
pulls up the specs. Sees you're running at 1.24 gigahertz single core processor.
Yeah. So it's a dinosaur that I'm using right now. This is worse than Scott's computer.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine that got a drone and has just been like fucking around and doing like free projects for people, like showing properties off, and like one of them was a wedding venue, and he's like, man, I can't get it to fucking render properly. Like when I go to export the video, like everything looks good, and I export it, and it's like it'll freeze on a certain frame and stay there for a while, and then jumps ahead and everything. So since he's in the neighborhood that I live in, I walked over there and got to his house, and he's trying to do it on a Surface Pro 4. So it's a tablet.
Yeah.
Dude, no, just no, there's no way. And he's like, well, it worked fine when I first started doing it. And I said, well, did you first start doing it like when you purchased the tablet, like when you got the tablet and there was nothing on it? And he's like, yeah, the first like 5 videos I did were fine. And I was like, yeah, well, you probably like overheated everything so much from it trying to render that now like it's scared to try and do anything. So when you try and render video on that thing, it's like, fuck you, dude. I don't think so.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Right? It's like, see, I tried to edit this 4K video on my iPad 2, and it just didn't work. It's like, well, I mean, I'm sorry, man. It's an iPad 2. I don't know what you want to tell me.
Fucking hell.
There's a lot of good like video editing for phones. If you like, even if I've edited like 1.5-hour videos on a phone. The last video I put up, the video I put up today, the 20-minute one, I did that all on my phone, nothing with the computer. So there are some good ones, and that's what makes me so, like, I talk about this all the time. That's what makes me so mad at computers, is that phones are so easy and they do so much more at a quicker rate, and that's I guess that's why I get the laptop idea from, is like, because it just seems like this is so big and it has to stay here, and I could do so much on a phone.
Well,
I have a good phone.
The issue is compression, as far as like your phone being able to do what is it, the main one that everybody uses where it says powered by cyber whatever video creator.
Power director,
Power Director. The compression rates there are so phenomenally fucking good that it's not doing a full render as you're viewing it on the screen. So you don't have to worry about that. Now once you get into doing editing on like a dedicated computer system, it's going to try and show you, like when you bring in a 1080p clip, it's going to render in 1080p, which means that it's reading it off of a memory card, number one, which is going to slow down the data transfer. So always, anytime you're trying to do video editing on your computer, copy the thing onto the hard drive of your computer. Don't have it be trying to read off of an SD card or a gig stick or whatever. But even then, now, unless you're using a solid state hard drive, most hard drives in laptops and like standard desktop towers, they don't run fast enough. Whereas this is all solid state memory. You have what's called a NAND chip in here. And it's basically an SSD. It's basically a solid state drive. So the read-write speed is phenomenally faster than on most laptops and computer desktops that are on the market, just because they have to do that anyway. For the phone to be able to work, you need to be able to open apps and switch between apps and all this kind of shit without it crashing or taking a long ass time and lagging out and shit. They have to develop the software in phones to be able to work that fast. They don't have to do that for most processes in a laptop or desktop computer. So usually there's this huge disconnect between like the quality and speed of a CPU versus a cell phone. Most of the time it's going to seem to be a lot easier and faster to edit on a cell phone than it is on a desktop.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like even the cameras on a phone are just like, they're so fucking good now. And it's like, you could, if you were good enough at it, you could actually have a whole YouTube channel with great quality with just a phone.
Like the iPhone 11 that's out now, because it has that super wide angle lens on it.
Yeah.
The super wide, and then anything, I was going to say the newest iPhone, or about the last 4 generations of the Samsung Galaxy and Note, you can really get away with doing a 1080p warp stabilized, which some people here may or may not know what that means, but you can go in and run basically an algorithm that will stabilize your footage. So instead of your bouncy walking around shit, it will stabilize it and make it look like you're using it.
I just thought it was Star Trek.
So like the cameras and all of the software processing and shit that is going into cell phone cameras now has reached such a high level that it almost doesn't make any sense for like a daily vlogger or anything to go out and buy a DSLR unless they're also wanting to do B-roll shots. If they're wanting to include like their landscape photography and shit, then they're going to need the DSLR. But they can film themselves using the DSLR with their cell phone, and most people are not going to know when they switch between their $1,600 up to $16,000 medium format camera and switch back to their $1,200 iPhone. It's insane what they've been able to cram these little things. I do always get pissed the fuck off though when people are like, oh, well, there's no need for DSLRs and, mirrorless cameras and like pro cameras like this anymore because these are so good. The thing is, the sensor on this versus my DSLR over there in the corner, the sensor on this is like this fucking big. I have a sensor like this fucking size in my camera. I'm going to get so much more detail. I'm going to be able to do so much more editing and everything out of my DSLR that I'm ever going to be able to do with a cell phone. Now, does it look good enough to take a picture and post on Instagram? It certainly fucking does. But it will never replace pro photography gear. There's a reason that the Nikon D5, which is a crop sensor camera, is still worth $6,500 brand new.
What?
And it came out, I want to say in like 2004. It's not new. It's not new technology at all. But you will still, even to this day, see some people shooting, obviously not NFL, but or maybe arena football or something, using a Nikon D5. Because it's a badass fucking DSLR, and it's a 12 megapixel camera. It's 12 megapixels.
Jesus.
But it shoots raw. It's hard to get the same amount of fucking data out of a tiny ass little fucking sensor like this. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's most of the stuff you're saying, I understand. Half of it is a different language. But I do.
I tend to, for anything that I have any interest in, I tend to go like, I jump in with both feet. And so I go like full on fucking nerd mode.
It was when you said warp compression or something like that. I just thought, yes, talking Star Trek.
You're right. It's warp stabilizing. So what it'll do is it'll crop
that's the one.
And the camera shake. It'll get rid of the camera shake, and it's called a warp stabilizer because instead of it shaking, it'll warp the boundaries of the camera to make it stay the same throughout.
Yeah, so let's put it in terms. I'm like a Samsung phone. You're like a DSLR. I'm running at a, what is it? I'm very compressed in my mind, very compressed. So.
Well, then, I mean, look at it this way too, Nick. You know a fuckload more about construction and carpentry than I guarantee you 99% of people in this chat. If you started talking about like the proper spacing of floor joists and like different different mounting mechanisms and different ways to accomplish the same thing, I'm sure, myself included, a lot of that would just go right the fuck over my head, and I wouldn't know what the fuck you're talking about because you live in that world. Right? Like you operate and live in that world. I now am trying to make money off of my camera. So I live in that world now. So there's always going to be a disconnect between trying to explain things that seem simple to you because it's like part of your daily life versus like somebody who's never stepped foot on a job site. there's always going to be a disconnect there.
Other people's interest and hobbies is what they get good at. We've talked about that before too, like how like there's people that always come on and be like, oh, you're awesome, that's it, like great, and I'm sure that there's something that you do that I would think is fucking awesome, unless you just sit there and watch TV all day, but you might be really good at that too. You might find the best
watching fucking on-demand videos all day.
What is two thumbs and watches TV all day?
Oh man,
no, not me.
Yet all of our
services that have a field day with that one.
All of our conversations turn into tech talk, and they never turn into construction talk, do they?
They really don't. That's kind of fucked up, isn't it?
It's not. I don't want to talk about fucking construction.
Shit. Well, that's too bad because I'm gonna have to completely tear down and rebuild my front steps and little mini porch. And I don't know anything about running fucking lag bolts and everything else. So I'm gonna be hitting you the fuck up on on all that. Like, Nick, I don't want anybody to go walk out my front door, step on the fucking first step, and then fall their death. So
yeah, that's actually fairly easy to explain too. And dude, that's why the internet's so fucking awesome. It's because you could figure out fucking anything. You could find videos on anything. Even what I do here is it's just a weird little niche thing. And if you imagine how many weird little niche things there are in the world, and there's videos for them. I've been falling into graffiti videos, and then I started falling into like all different kinds of art videos. There's like this one girl that draws like a fucking printer, and it's just weird. And there's just
dude, I can't tell you how many of
the dot printer guy.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many of those primitive survival videos I've watched of that Indian dude making a fucking pool in a house under the ground in the fucking dirt in a jungle somewhere.
Yeah.
I would have died 2 days into that project, and he's like, "Oh, I have a goldfish pond now." I'm like, "Sweet, bro."
Oh, did you look up that guy I said about, Nick? Rogue One?
I didn't yet.
The graffiti artist?
Yeah, I gotta
check
look him
that
up.
guy out, man. He is.
What's up, Robo? What's up?
I'm just gonna go ahead and point it out. We've basically said fuck off to chat for this entire thing.
Oh no, I haven't. I've still been chatting.
No, I have. I absolutely have.
See, males can multitask.
What's going on, everybody? Robo, I see you said, hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, it's been a long time trying to come back into it a little bit. See, obviously, what's up? Clayton, Casper Coils, V-Dog, Kip Drippers, Casper. We got a lot of fucking people out there, seems like now. Albert's out there. Obi-Wan Kenobi. What's going on, man? I fucking love that screen name, by the way. Josh Main, Chevy Man. Chevy Man hadn't seen me on a fucking stream in I don't even know how long. All right, I promise, guys, I'm gonna be reading chat now. I had it popped out like I cared.
And Cheech, listen, Scottish accent, you can hear it.
All right. Just a wee bit.
I'm having to dumb it right down. No.
Yeah, I've tried.
If I was to talk in my actual accent, nobody would understand me.
I can perfectly fucking well. From the first time I ever talked to you, I didn't have a problem with it. And I think I've only ever talked to one other person with a proper Scottish accent before.
Yeah. I've learned how to slow it right down though. I usually talk about 100 times faster than this. I guarantee if somebody from Glasgow was to come in here right now and we started having a conversation, you'd be just sitting scratching your head.
Yeah, I will say, two Scots just speaking to each other, I'm gone. Yeah. I'm way gone.
Sounds scary as well.
Right. Might as well be
Yeah.
stuck at that point because I got no fucking clue what you're saying.
So Clay, what's happening? Are you coming on or what?
Yeah, did he have a problem with getting? I'll put the link out there again.
I don't
Actually,
know.
hold on. Let me see if I can put the link out again.
Should be able to just copy and paste from the browser, right?
Right, here it is. Copy clipboard. And
I beat you to it.
so are you guys on actual StreamYard right now?
Yeah,
I am from, yeah, it looks like, yeah, I think all of us are on PC.
See,
Mine just
It
looks
doesn't
better.
have a clue what
I've
I'm
got the
saying.
whole video lighting set up and everything, so. What's up, Trevor? You know, I've enjoyed through the build community. I've met people in a million different fucking places, and I've always been really interested in language, like overall, and specifically accents. And a lot of the time in the UK, like you can narrow down on a small island like the size of fucking Massachusetts. You can tell where people come from by how they sound, and it's always been amazing to me. And then like the difference between the New Zealander accent versus the Australian accent is clear as day to me now.
Yep.
It didn't used to be, but like now I can easily tell, like at the drop of a hat, within like 5 words of their first sentence, like, "Oh, you're from New Zealand," and they're like,
There's an easier way to
everybody always assumes Australian. I'm like, no, you don't sound like an Aussie at all. Like you're
So you'll
Kiwi
get
all
this.
the way.
So you'll get this. There's an easy way to confirm if somebody is from New Zealand or Australia. Ask them to say ticket.
Yeah.
That's how you can tell, because there's like Australians will say, I don't know, I'm no good with Australian accent, but there's a way that the New Zealanders pronounce the letter I, and it's just completely different.
Yeah, that's like I could tell. Like,
I didn't.
There's
See, to me,
people.
Australian is very similar to like deep South US with an English drawl instead of a Southern drawl. Like it's kind of the same style and speed of speech, but then with New Zealanders, everything is a little bit higher octave, like a little higher pitch. So as in like with an I, instead of being like a solid I sound, it'll be like an E sound almost instead of an I sound. So it's just kind of that like break in it. And like once you notice it, it's clear as hell.
I'm going to try and say ticket. C's going to kill me for this. Ticket. Whereas the Australians are probably just take it. Fucking take it. Fucking.
There's like when you
automatically turn into bogan when they were trying to do New Zealand. Australian, sorry.
You get you could see accents too, so I could find out like Liverpool accent is very different from other parts.
Well, with Liverpool, usually you can tell if you ask them to say the word Liverpool because they'll give it a hard U sound in front of the O sound, like it's Liverpool instead of
Liverpool.
Yeah, so you have that pool sound in it instead of pool. So like that's easy to me. But then the Welsh will do the same thing. If you ask somebody who's Welsh to say Liverpool, they'll say Liverpool. You still have that kind of like drop, but it's not as exaggerated for somebody who's Welsh.
Which one, Josh? I've got quite a few. That one there, that's Killing Joke.
And what's
Joker.
Is that the Republic stamp that you have on your hand? Fuck yeah.
See, I told you, Nick. Star Wars fan. Sith Order and the Jedi Order.
I need so many more
Josh was
tattoos.
asking,
Here's my America as fuck. Let me see if I can get that actually on camera. It's a bald eagle with aviators on, with a mountain scene in the aviators, with an American flag tattoo on his bicep, wearing a punk rock, wristband, and he flexes. When I used to be a lot bigger than I used to actually have pecs, but when I flexed, he flexed, which was awesome.
That's fucking awesome.
It's faded as shit now. I think it's been 14 years ago, 14 or 15 years ago that I got it, and it's never been retouched, so it's faded as shit. Can't see past the nipple. I have 3, by the way. I have a very small formation. You probably can't even see it in this lighting, but I have a small formation of the actual nipple tissue, not the areola. I thought it was a mole for forever until a doctor told me one time that I had a third nipple.
A nubbin, as Chandler Bing calls it.
A little bit of, I call it my triple.
Triple. Oh, fucking brilliant.
A little bit of Crazy Face McGee trivia for everybody out there. You ever go to a bar and they're like, how many nipples does Crazy Face McGee have? You know the answer is not 2.
Oh, man. And for 50 points extra, what does he call it?
Exactly. This is not a family-friendly show. No. Usually, if you see my name in a live stream anywhere, get the kids out of the room.
Yeah.
Usually. The third does not react like the other 2. There's no nerve tissue in it. It's basically a mole that's made out of nipple material. And thinking about making a vape-only Instagram account. Any tips for pics, following, and etc.? You'd have to be a little bit more specific than that, Matt. I believe your name is Matt. I think we've spoken before.
That's Matt.
So number one, if you're trying to build a following, use hashtags, but change them regularly, or you will get basically shadow banned, not to where you can't post or comment on anything. If you're using tags like Vape Nation, vape, nipple material, that's right. If you're using hashtags like most vapors are, honestly, you can go into my Instagram and rip most of the hashtags off, because I, for a while, looked into what were the most popular ones, what were getting the most hits. It's probably different now, but that would be a good place to start.
There's a website where you can actually type in whatever type of
the only downside of the websites like
content
that
you're going to put in.
If you type in like vape, it will only give you hashtags with the word vape in it, as opposed to like coil architect, coil builder. Like, so you'd have to do vape and then do coils, and then you have to make sure that you have no more than 29 tags in your post. You can do a comment and drop 29 more if you want to. I don't like to do that, because usually, in my case, if I see an account and every time I fucking click on something, the first thing that pops up under the comments is their tag lists, I'm not going to comment, number one, which reduces your engagement rates, which will slow you in the algorithm. So try and keep all of your tags in your caption for the post, and then tag people as well. The only downside to that is now it gets annoying as fuck, because you don't have the option to turn off every single fucking time anybody comments on any post on Instagram that you're tagged in. It gives you a notification. Yeah. So you not only get your notifications, you get every fucking body else's. So that's a little annoying, but it will help build some initial growth.
Is it true, like, what you were saying about the hashtags? If you change the order often, you can still use
themselves,
the same. You can still use the same one.
Doesn't matter. The order itself doesn't matter. I would create 2 or 3 different hashtag lists and use one for like a week, use the second one for a week, use the third for the next week, and then go back to the first one. But if every single thing that you post has the same hashtags in it over and over and over again, Instagram is not going to show everybody follow, and you don't have to be following the hashtags. I mean, you can go to the search panel on Instagram and type in a tag and then choose to follow that hashtag. I don't recommend doing that because you're going to get a fuckload of posts that you don't even want to see that are randomly tagged with shit. But I would recommend having 2 or 3 different hashtag lists that you use and then kind of rotating through them regularly. Because if you use the same ones over and over and over again, they're going to stop showing people that usually respond to that hashtag your shit. So you're just not going to get seen. Now, the whole group of people that have been tagging everybody in every picture religiously and having them all comment, that honestly does not help us at all. It will initially, because all the people in whatever group chat that you've decided to do that with are going to comment on everything. So there's 30 people in the chat. You're going to get 30 comments on everything. So you're going to think that it's working. I guarantee you it is not. It's not how the algorithms, plural, because a lot of people seem to think there's one algorithm. There's a ton of algorithms that you ever post and decide who to show it to. So if you're just wanting to show up on everybody's feed, don't buy into that. It's not going to do you any good. It will at the start of it because you're going to get those 30 comments or whatever. So it's going to see your engagement rate as being fairly high. But after about a month, it's going to see that the same people are commenting on every single one of your photos, and your engagement rate is not going to be reflective of that anymore.
Mm-hmm. I've actually stopped tagging most of the people that I used to tag. The only people that I'll actually tag is
I don't even drop hashtags anymore. I hadn't posted in probably a fucking month, and put up the picture that the braided fused Claptons. There's not a single fucking hashtag on there, and I've gotten more likes on that than I have in a lot of shit in the last month that I was posting regularly with hashtags. So I mean, that alone has to show you that a lot of these people in group chats think that they know what the algorithm is. Number one, if they're saying I know the algorithm and not the algorithms, plural, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
That's the thing. Even IG don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, because, like, apparently, I think it was Nick Fenton had said that he'd got in touch with IG before, and they said, "Oh, we don't shadow ban. There's no such thing as shadow ban."
Well, we kind of
shadow ban
because we saw a lot of people that were getting a lot of engagement. All of a sudden, their engagement rate dropped.
Yeah.
That's because the algorithms changed, and they started looking at who are the people who are liking all these photos, who are commenting and everything else. If it's the same fucking people on every picture, you're not going to show up with organic growth. Meaning the people that have been commenting will fucking see everything because they've been commenting. So on their feed, you'll show up, but on like just the general news feed, you're not going to show for anything.
Yeah.
So somebody asked me a question. Somebody sent these to me. I don't know who sent them. It was like in a different language, from a different country. I think it was one of my patrons sent it. So this is them, right? And you get this, but the thing is it's 4 different magnifications, 2 lenses each. So you got 2 times 10, 2 times 15, 2 times 20, and 2 times 25. So it's 10 to 25. I use 10 because anything else is just too much, I think.
See, the only thing is, like, with this,
you gotta have the wire, like
that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Every time you increase the magnification, you're going to have to shorten the distance between you and the object.
You have that.
The same thing with
that's when you end up using it. I grew my hair out like last year, and I done exactly what you did, Nick. See, the night you done that, when you fused your hair onto the build, I felt your pain, man. I really did.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm echoing. It's got to be somebody else, I think, because my thing's down, and it actually I hear it only once in a while. I'm not hearing it now. So
I
don't
don't
know
know
what
if
it
it's
is.
me because
it sounds
should
like somebody
be-
has it in the background.
muted on speaker anyway.
Unless I hear it now. 1 second. Hello. I hear it. Okay, this is what's moving. You're hearing me coming through somebody else's speaker. I don't know why.
I just cut mine down since I'm using an external mic. I cut my actual speakers down a lot, so we'll see if that helps.
What kind of mic are you using?
I'll just talk like this. We'll go full ASMR. I hope everybody's enjoying their night.
Fucking ASMR.
We're going to slowly wrap this wire around another wire. I want you all to pay very close attention as we zoom in on Nick's beard. This is going to be a theme from now on.
The thing is, even if you're not on, you're still going to do that when you're watching.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up going live, and everybody's gonna be like, "Drew, why are you like cradling the microphone?"
It's because I care, and I want you all to be happy.
Oh man,
People do some weird shit, man.
they really do. They really do.
Give me some vape ASMR and we're going to re-wick in fluff. Brilliant.
Love it. Stroke it with the tweezers.
What's really sad is if you look up ASMR microphones, this is one of the first ones that pops up because it's one of the cheapest ones.
Oh, fuck's sake. But Trev says now you've got to take a vape with the microphone like that.
Oh Jesus, no, that'll blow everybody's fucking ears out.
Sounds like Jim Morris. That kicked actually, yeah.
Sounds like Jim Morrison. Oh man.
It sounded like Jim Morrison reading one of his poems. Chevy says you love to hold the giant meatballs.
Only Yeti balls. Because they're cold. They're cold and comfortable. And they give this nice red light.
Gunther, I've done that before as well, mate. I have done that before too. He says he just woke his girlfriend up from laughing out loud.
Just tell her to listen, and I'll put her back to sleep. It's okay. Just breathe.
Pretty bird.
What's wrong? This ASMR video is hilarious.
Yeah, I think we're kind of missing the mark on it. Just a tad. Robo been doing great with DSLR. I don't make enough to live off of it, but I make anywhere between 10 and 14,000 a year off of doing photos. So it's as far as like side hustles go, it's pretty good. I need to upgrade a lot of just everything. to be honest. I need a new camera body. I need much higher quality glass than I'm using. Which anytime you hear a photographer say glass, they just mean lenses. They mean lenses. I don't know why I do that. It's stupid, but I bought into the fucking jargon, I guess. But yeah, I've been making some money off of it, just not enough to, you know, not need a regular job.
And just so you know, whenever you hear me say, you know, it's ASMR jargon. When I say I need more fuzz, it means I need a new microphone.
Yep.
It all comes down to the whisper factor, Nick. If you perfect the whisper, you perfect the ASMR.
It's
a little known fact, but
I wonder if Morgan Freeman does the ASMR.
I don't know if male should do ASMR, but that's why it's funny.
They shouldn't, but they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robo, that's the only reason I'm able to make money off of a like $499 camera body is I have a $900 and something set of glass in front of it.
Jesus.
Yeah, my 85 millimeter macro. It's not even a fast lens. It's not a huge aperture. It's an f3.5 at the closest focal distance, and it closes down. So if I'm 1 meter away from something, it's an f3.5. If it's anything further than a meter away, which means basically everything other than macro shots, I'm usually shooting it around like an f4 down to like f5.6. But you know, it is what it is. It does. It's pretty sharp as far as a like portrait lens goes. I wouldn't really use it for much else though. Really, for a portrait lens, I'd like to see like I'd like to get like an 85 or 90 millimeter 1.8 or 1.4. Really the 1.2, but then that's when you're looking at like $1,600 to $1,800 for the lens.
That's insane. It's costing you like 2-3 times more than what you're paying for the actual body.
Yeah, most Canon's RF glass, which is their like newer mount system, which is on the EOS R and I think 1 or 2 of their other cameras. Instead of the standard EF mount, it's an RF mount. Their glass is usually around $2,000 to $3,000 a lens. If you're wanting to get anything close to an f1 point anything, if you want even a 2.4, I think 2.4 on some of them is around $1,600, and then if you drop that to a 1.8, you're going to be like $2,200 to $2,400.
Bloody hell!
I have not, Robo. Feel free to hit me up on Facebook Messenger for Facebook friends. Otherwise, hit me up on Instagram. To be honest with you, if we're not already Facebook friends, don't worry about Facebook because I'm never on there now unless I happen to notice that I have messages. Then I'll check them, but most of the time I don't. So, oh shit! All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can hit me up on Facebook or Instagram then, Scott. The fast drill on ASMR building. Yeah, that'd be fucking horrible.
But ever since I was young, I knew ASMR was in my veins, man. I just knew it was in my veins.
Sometimes you just know what you're calling this, man.
Always searching for something. It's always searching for something, but once I found ASMR, I knew that my look has stopped. My searching has stopped. I found what I was looking for.
I know my true calling now. I'm so happy I found my meaning in life. I hope you enjoy it.
say, speak English, please. I don't know if he's talking to me right enough. It possibly is me.
Yokihiro Taco Bell.
Let's talk about targeting kids, because you know what I was thinking? Nobody knows how to fucking target kids. Kids just fucking, like, they just do whatever the fuck. They do weird shit. Like fidget spinners. Remember fidget spinners? Who the fuck knew that kids would go like that? I guess they knew. But then you, like, there's all these little things that kids get into. And you're like, how the fuck were you supposed to know that? How are you supposed to know that the kids are going to like that? And it's usually just because everybody likes that. Everybody fucking likes it. That's why kids like it. It's because everybody likes it. They're just
here's the thing. It used to be that parents would tell you to go the fuck outside and play when they wanted you to leave them the fuck alone, right? Go outside. Well, we lost that during the information age and everybody having tablets and shit. So the kids sitting right next to you and saying, oh, look at this, look at that, look at this new game I got, whatever. So they were like, well, I can't tell them to go outside because they're going to get raped. So, you know, what am I supposed to do with them? So they were like, okay, spin this little fucking thing in your fingers, like, and just sit there and let that entertain you. So it's mostly just, you know, having something to keep the kids entertained when they're not talking to their parents, because most parents are too busy living life like this to interact with the kids at all. So when, you know, it becomes time to so very inconveniently parent your fucking kids, nobody wants to do it. So they have to keep coming up with new innovative ways to make the kids leave their parents alone.
Yeah, I mean, Tide Pods were targeting kids, and nobody knew that. But when you look at it, you're like, yeah, those things are pretty fucking cool. But I wouldn't eat one. I wouldn't try that one. But I could see why that targeted kids. And you would never know that.
It's like to me, it still all comes down to kids not having any fucking discipline. It's the same thing with the that one bitch that started the whole fucking trend to opening ice cream tubs and licking the fucking ice cream and putting it back and posting the shit on Instagram. Like, it's not so much that anything is targeting anybody. It's just the fact that kids are so fucking ignored now and have no discipline and have never been disciplined for doing anything wrong in their entire fucking life, that they just do whatever the fuck they want to do, and then it's not a problem until it becomes one. And that's the whole fucking problem in my mind. Kids are doing Juul. Pop the fucking Juul out of their mouth so goddamn hard that you break 5 teeth, and I guarantee you they're not going to go out and buy another one. And whose money
That's
are
a man after one
anyway? Are you giving them enough fucking allowance so that they can go to whatever seedy fucking gas station and buy another one when you take the first one? And then if they do it the second time, if you jam it down their fucking throat, then guess what? They're not going to have the fucking ability to breathe to purchase the fucking third one. So discipline your goddamn kids, and we won't have the fucking problem.
And Juul isn't even really like, that's like the argument that they have is like Juul is like targeting kids, like, but it doesn't. It's not.
It's not that Juul is targeting kids. I forget if it was the CDC or who that actually did a fucking study of where teens are getting the fucking vape products from. Almost fucking none of it was any fucking where near a vape shop. It's all convenience stores, newsstands, gas stations, all that shit. The same places that are illegally selling minors fucking cigarettes. It's impossible to walk into a fucking establishment where you have to show a fucking ID to get in the goddamn door to then illegally purchase products that you're not supposed to be able to purchase. So if you, my personal feelings on it is, okay, ban pod systems, ban every single fucking vaping product that is sold in the gas station. Because guess what? We're not fucking selling them in pod shops. No, or vape shops. No fucking vape shop carries Blue or Mark 10 or Views. A lot of them carry Juul, but you know what? We can get rid of them. Did anybody in this fucking chat quit with a Juul? Did anybody in this fucking chat switch smoking to vaping with a goddamn Juul? So they're not necessary.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to stop the fucking teen epidemic, quote unquote, with giant fucking quotes, then don't allow them to be sold in the places where teens are able to fucking buy them illegally, because they're not fucking getting them from vape shops. They're just not.
I think was it Golfty that was talking about this the other night? The high nicotine level Nick salts as well. Nobody quit with high level nicotine.
50 milligram Nick salt.
I quit with 3.
You can smoke 6 goddamn packs a day and quit with a fucking 12 milligram free base nicotine.
There's no need for it to be that fucking high. No need. That is purely just so that you get a buzz out of it.
Sorry, I was going to try and avoid this topic because I will get heated and take over the fucking show.
Well, I don't. Yeah, but the thing here's it. Like, I always think like it's not the parents' fault for the raising. Like, I think that kind of, and it's kind of true. Like, when a kid picks up a Juul or a kid starts smoking weed or whatever a kid does, it's not always the parenting. What is the parenting though is going on the news and blaming everybody else. Like, that's not raising your kid right. Go on the news
because my little Johnny is incapable of making a poor fucking decision.
Yeah.
And so it's on everybody else to make sure that little Johnny can't get his hands on whatever. You've got to raise little Johnny right, and then if he decides later in life that he's going to be a fuck up, I mean, then that's on fucking Johnny. That's not on mom or dad or anybody but fucking Johnny. Because we're not talking about 6 and 7-year-old fucking kids here. We're talking about between the ages of like 15 and 18 years old.
Yeah.
Between the ages of 15 and 18 years old, you ought to know enough to be able to make your own fucking decisions. And if at any point in time the blame gets placed on anybody other than the individual who chose to do the action, even at 15 years old, I'm sorry, we send motherfuckers to prison as a 15-year-old for murdering somebody. Like, we assume that they know right and wrong to that degree. I mean, so why not something else? I mean, I would rather see a 15-year-old pick up a Juul than a pack of cigarettes, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. Now if it becomes my kid, then that's a situation that I have to handle when that presents itself. But I can't blame fucking Juul or Views or Mark 10 for making a product that there's so many other alternatives out there that if my kid wanted to get fucking nicotine into his system, he's going to get it into his fucking system. It's stupid as fuck to try and plant the blame on the companies themselves. A large part of it, I feel, is the fact that we've lost the ability to discipline our kids, because now the second you raise your voice or you raise a hand at your kid, then now, Child Protective Services comes in and everything, and you're supposed to sit down and talk to your 4-year-old with a level head like they even understand what the fuck you're saying. Like, that I have a problem with. But when you get into the like 15 to 18 age range, they know more or less what the fuck they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they Andrew Santino or Andrew Schultz was on Bert Kreischer show.
Kreischer, the fucking animal.
Yeah. So he I'm gonna shut that down because it's actually slowing me down. But anyway, that was it. So just rewind it if you want to see what I'm talking about. So they were talking about Dave Chappelle's special and how he was talking about how he's a victim shamer. And on there, they talk about how they're victim shamers and they do it exactly to their kids. And I'm kind of the same way. Like, if my daughter will get into arguments with people and she's gotten into fist fights and stuff, and when she tells me like somebody was messing with her, my first reaction is, what the fuck did you do? You had to do something. This person didn't just start talk. This is a two-way street. And that's exactly what a lot of people don't do. They start going, oh, somebody hurt my son. Oh, somebody sold this to my son. Oh, somebody sold this to my daughter. My daughter's innocent. My daughter, and that's like exactly the fucking problem.
Yeah,
you got to take responsibility.
The thing is, all these parents coming out and saying, even though the talk screen showed THC in these kids' systems, like, no, they weren't getting black market vape cartridges. They were just vaping, nicotine e-liquid. And come to find out, none of the fucking nicotine e-liquid that any of these fucking people have tested that have, they come in and they're like, oh, this was what I was vaping, right? There's no vitamin E acetate in this. Yet they have lipoid pneumonia. How? Fucking how? But then the parents are like, well, it's impossible that, little Johnny lied about getting high. He must have gotten THC in his system from a Rolling Stones concert, or some shit like that. It's like, no, bitch, your son's getting fucking stoned. Like,
I know.
It's a goddamn shame, is what it is, and they're threatening to kill the entire industry that could have the single largest impact on public health of anything in any of our fucking lifespans.
Yep.
Because, and
it's the most. I mean, like, there's been so many studies, independent studies that have been done over here as well as the Royal College of Physicians, and it's been proven it's one of the most, if not the most, effective way of giving up smoking.
Yeah.
And yet, why? That's when you have to ask yourself. So is that why they're so staunchly against it?
Scott Gottlieb has come back and basically said, like, look, no, we understand that vaping is significantly healthier for you. We understand that it's a giant fucking step in the right direction.
Yeah.
And then he says,
but
these companies like Juul and shit. Yeah, exactly. So it comes back to being like, oh, well, companies like Juul, and yes, but no on the same hand, okay, well, again, where are the teens getting this shit from? It's not like it was, or it's not like it is any different than when I was in high school and I was 14, 15 years old getting packs of cigarettes from one specific convenience store because I knew that they would sell to me. It's no different. The only difference is the actual fucking product. So if you really want to fucking stop teens from getting their hands on it, remove those products from those places. Make them have to show ID, which, by the way, the vape industry in the United States decided to do that our fucking selves. There was no law saying that you had to be 18 or 21 to step foot in a vape shop. We decided you need to be 18 or 21 to be here because all of our products are intended for 18 or 21-year-olds, depending on what state you live in. We did that. The vape shop owners did that. There was no federal regulation saying that you can't do that. Otherwise, all gas stations that sell vape products are going to have to card you at the door to come in and buy a fucking Snickers bar. So remove them from the places that the teens are able to get them.
Exactly, and make it. I mean, one of the ideas that had come into my head as well. I think somebody else has probably said it already because it has been talked about so often. Only licensed places should be able to sell the stuff. Only, you have to apply for the fucking license to be able to buy the products in the first place. Never mind sell them.
Yep, you can go back and see several YouTube shows that I was on years and years ago where I said, look, we really need to come to legislators with sensible legislation and sensible regulations and say, look, let's go ahead and get this on the books now. Because if we've been regulated for years, you can't say shit to us. Like the first fucking time a flavor ban or anything was proposed, it's like, okay, well, let's get ahead of it. Instead of saying, oh, woe is me, you're taking my rights and shit, let's proactively go into it and say, obviously, this is something that needs to be regulated, especially when you get into the cases of where you have 50 milligram fucking Nick salts, that if your baby fucking turns the bottle up, they're going to have a heart attack and fucking die on your kitchen floor. That's a fucking issue. Those types of things need regulation behind them because not everybody needs to have access to them. People of legal age should be able to get them. People who are not of legal age should not be allowed access to them. They shouldn't be sold in the same fucking places. The same reason we have cigar shops. Same reason we have liquor stores as opposed to just selling liquor openly in gas stations. Because you remove the highest potency shit from the most accessible areas. It's the same reason you can't go into fucking Walmart and just grab a shotgun off the shelf and a fucking box of shells and then, oh, well, I guess I'll just do a mass shooting inside Walmart because I have the tools to do so. There's a reason that you have to get a key to unlock the fucking gun cabinet, to get into the fucking gun cabinet, and then usually most of the ammunition, at least in Walmart, especially now, I assume, is under lock and key. You have to be able to fucking say, look, We have a product that is potentially dangerous. Is it less dangerous than something already on the market? Sure. That doesn't fucking matter. It's potentially dangerous. If we self-regulated years fucking ago, we would not be in the situation that we're in now. We would still be fighting against the MSA, which is a completely different argument. And there's a huge reason that most of the fucking flavor bans and outright bans have happened in California and New York, because they get the biggest fucking MSA payments of all fucking states. Michigan's, number 3. So why did they ban it? You can follow the money, and everybody wants to get into the levels of corruption and the conspiracy theories and everything.
That's the thing. Like somebody said,
explanation is going to be the most correct explanation. The most correct explanation is: look, we have on my last little research thing, and I have numbers written down, but they're not in front of me. On my last little bit of research, we have over $1 billion of bonds that have been purchased for future MSA payments that are now no longer going to be able to be paid off at the rate that MSA payments are dropping because of the amount of cigarette sales that have dropped. It happened at a sharp fucking angle. It's not like, vaping was introduced and then, we have a small decline of the amount of cigarettes sold. It was vaping was introduced. We had a small decline for a number of years, and it fucking tanked.
Yeah.
When it fucking tanked, you have so many fucking states that now the federal government money based off of payments that they are no longer going to receive. They're going to receive the MSA payments, but they're going to be significantly lower than what they anticipated. As far as state senators go, they have to pass the budget for the states based on a 2-year basis. Why? Because they come up for re-election every 2 fucking years. So they can't say in 10, 12, 14 fucking years, this is going to be a sustainable thing. If we remove the amount of public health impact from cigarettes, and instead, if we lightly tax vaping, we won't get the money up front, but we'll save it in the long term. They can't fucking do that, because if they pass an unbalanced budget for the 2 years, the only thing that's going to show when they go up for re-election is, they passed an unbalanced budget. They lost the state money in the 2 years that they were here. And so they get fucked out of office. So they're never going to admit that vaping is better. Or if they do, they're going to say, yeah, so technically using an ENDS device, because I swear to God, I'm getting to the point, I used to not care about the nomenclature, but if you call these e-cigarettes again, I'm going to punch you in the fucking face, because they're not an e-cigarette. It is an ENDS device. This is an electronic nicotine delivery system, and it's important now that we stop calling them e-cigarettes, and this is no longer e-liquid. This is nicotine included vaping liquid. It's not e-liquid anymore. You have to be very fucking careful with the way that you work things. Clayton, I'm working on that, man. Trust me. But it's an insane fucking amount of the same issues that have been plaguing vaping for a number of fucking years. It's a lot of infighting, and we can't decide which fucking issue that we want to stick to. The issue at hand is the fact that we are costing the states, and therefore the federal government, millions and millions of dollars in taxes every fucking year, because we have independently created something that is now taking money away from the MSA of 1998 that was passed very shortly after the Family Tobacco Use Prevention Act of 98. It's super simple to follow. The logic and the timeline is very well laid out, and it's super fucking clear. But for everybody to say, they're doing it because they want to take away this right so they can take away that right and everything else, it's just not the fucking case. I hate our federal government. Don't get me fucking wrong. I'm a staunch fucking Second Amendment supporter. I voted for Donald Trump, and I probably will again. I don't like the man. Don't like him at all. I think he's a piece of shit. I think he's a raging fucking asshole, and he needs to have his Twitter privileges fucking revoked. But there was no Russian collusion. There was nothing going on with the Ukraine, except for Joe Biden and him placing his own fucking son at the head of a fucking oil company over there, placing him on the board of directors, and then having this. There's a whole bunch of other shit that we could get into. But the fact of the matter always comes back to the reason that vaping is being attacked is because of the fucking MSA. It's the master settlement agreement, and it just fucking is what it is. So for anybody to argue any other point of it is stupid and counterproductive and is going to
It was
cost
working
us.
for them. It was working for them. They were making so much fucking money. That way of making the money from tobacco was never going to change. So because we came up with a solution ourselves to quit smoking properly and, you know, finally give up smoking, you know, they felt the impact, and now that's why they're having to actually decide to do something. Most of them are deciding to ban it altogether, you know, because Grim pointed out the ones that are so hard on banning are the ones that are more heavily reliant on the MSAs.
Yep.
So they are the ones that stand to lose most from it staying as a smoking cessation device. So they're the ones that are trying to ban it altogether.
Watch the domino effect happen by who gets the most money state by state. And you can watch them ban it.
They done it the other night.
In the exact fucking order of who's getting the most money out of the MSA. It's provable and it's obvious and it's the most simple explanation. And almost every fucking time, the most simple explanation is the most true explanation.
This is another thing. This is what I'm going to say.
Because if they really cared about public health, they would just ban traditional combustible cigarettes.
Yeah,
they can't. Financially, they fucking can't do it because they've already spent the money that's supposed to be coming in from the MSA. So they can't fucking do it.
But I mean, this is what I was going to say earlier on. If you'd have said this about 6 months ago, you would have probably said, you know, folk, even like in this room, would probably have said, you sound like you should be wearing the tinfoil hat.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it does sound so ridiculous, but I mean, it is actually. It's fucking true.
I mean, it really doesn't, because in 2004, and for some reason now it's popular on Facebook, a consultant that was then placed as CEO of a large pharmaceutical company said, look, we're not in the business of curing people. We're in the business of being responsible to our shareholders as being a profitable company. That's right. And he literally said that word for fucking word.
It pretty much said a healthy patient is not paying anything.
It's the same thing like the congressional hearings about the what was it, 1600% increase in the price of an EpiPen. They straight in front of Congress said, we raised the prices because we know that these people have to have this product. And so we know that we can get away with charging basically whatever the fuck we want.
They're holding you over a barrel. Yep.
You know, it comes down to, you know, and then a lot of the times people will say, well, that, you know, that gives the argument for socializing medicine and doing the single payer system and all that. But you're looking at it in the wrong way. I think that healthcare should still be privatized. However, you need a system of checks and balances in place so that and we need to get rid of the master sheets in hospitals, which is basically, you can go into a hospital and say, I'm paying cash, I am my own single payer, and you get a significantly different price breakdown for services versus if you have insurance. That's because there's what's called master sheets in the hospital that says, oh, they had a chest x-ray. Are they paying for the chest x-ray out of their own pocket, and are we billing insurance? If they're not billing insurance, they charge you like $150 to $200. If you're running it through insurance, that $150 to $200 all of a sudden becomes $2,500 because they know that the insurance is going to pick up 80% and you're going to be stuck paying, you know, the same $150 to $200. Why is that a thing? Why the fuck does that exist? So you need the system of checks and balances on it, but it should still be a privatized system because then you have competition. If you can go and look at Yelp reviews of heart surgeons and see that, you know, Dr. McFuckenstein has killed 38 out of 40 patients, you know, you're not going to go there. But if Dr. Joe Blow has done the same surgery 6,000 times and has a 97% success rate on it, and he charges less than whatever the fuck I named the other doctor, then you're going to go to him. So the having Dr. McFuckenstein or whatever it was, but
that's the one, McFuckenstein.
But if you let capitalism work in the way that it's supposed to, with proper regulation on it, and not allow it to be crony capitalism or to be just free rampant shit, you're going to have a much more competitive, fair-based market system. And it's going to work the same for, nicotine absorption, whether you're doing it from combustible cigarettes or you're doing it from a safer alternative, down to how you buy your car or fucking anything else. It really just.
Gunther says, why is he going to be Jewish?
He's an Irish Jew. He's an Irish Jew, Dr. McFuckenstein. Dr. McFuckenstein here.
But, like I said, it all comes down to let there be competition inside the market. Put a fucking cap on it. It's just like we do it with gasoline. Gas station can charge whatever the fuck they want to up to a certain point. It works for that. Why not, do the same thing for fucking cancer treatments? Well, capitalism was never supposed to be a top-down thing, but we're getting too far off of other subjects. So I'd have to have this on my channel because Nick's going to get fucking taken down and have his channel deleted if I keep going.
That's the thing. Capitalism isn't a problem. It isn't a problem. It's the fact that
provably been the best.
If you're making money off of people's fucking death, illness, and pain, then that's when it's wrong. That's when it's wrong.
Yeah, but what
capitalism at its heart isn't wrong.
Where in capitalism does that happen? It's only the government that does it. It's not some free market enterprise that said, "Oh, you died. We're going to tax your estate 18%. It's the federal government that stepped in. A lot of people in the United States don't realize that we didn't used to have federal income tax at all. It happened during World War II, and it was supposed to last for 4 fucking years. But guess what? The federal government got their hands on an ass load of money for those 4 years, and they said, hey, wouldn't it be great if we just kept this? And so they did. And now we all pay fucking federal taxes. There's still not a law on the books that states that as an American citizen, you owe the federal government 1 red goddamn cent of your money. There's been several heads of the IRS that have found that out and stepped down because they didn't think that they could responsibly run basically a racketeering act. And then there's an open challenge. I don't remember. I think it was Harvard Law School or one of the larger law schools that still has I think it's $100,000 prize for anybody who can point out anywhere in federal regulation or law that states that you have to pay income tax. It doesn't exist.
Fuck.
And everybody wants to ban assault rifles. We did. From 1994 to 2004. We banned them for 10 years. Guess what? It had no impact on gun homicides, had no impact on homicides in general, had no impact on gun violence. We banned assault rifles for 10 fucking years, and it did nothing. That's why the ban expired in 2004. Nobody reads history, pays any fucking attention to anything, and so now we're doomed to repeat it. We're going to ban all these guns that make up less than 2.4% of guns used in any murders at all, and for no fucking reason, because we think that they're scary. It just, grinds my gears.
Banning any guns is not going to sort the problem.
We have
guns are illegal over here. You can't go into a shop and buy them over here. Folk are still getting shot.
We have 326 million people that live in the United States. We have 393 registered firearms in the United States. If you were to ban firearms outright ban on firearms, completely repeal the Second Amendment, no citizen is allowed to have a firearm. provably you're only going to get back about between 60 to 70% of those, which leaves at 70%, 118 million firearms out there in the black market. Now you only have criminals who can possess firearms, right? You have 118 million registered firearms that all of a sudden disappear. True, there's going to be, your outliers, your patriot types and all of that who bury their fucking AR in the backyard so the government can't get it. But for the most part, they're just going to go black market. So you still haven't taken care of the gun problem. You've just disarmed all the good people. So now the bad people have access to 118 million firearms that we're just all going to get robbed and shot. Exactly, Chris.
Simple way to put it.
She was like, I ain't getting banned for this. I'm out of here.
Yeah, right. He said, "Fuck you." What's up, Big J? Did he leave, or did I kick him out?
No, you didn't kick him out. I think he dropped. He like froze for a second, and then his video dropped.
Okay. Yeah, Casper Coils made a good point this morning, talking about how they stopped teaching cursive in school, and by the time these kids get old enough to want to read the Constitution, they probably won't even be able to
fucking read it.
That's crazy. When you think about shit like that, that's crazy. I wonder if I
he's backstage.
Eh?
G said he's backstage. I don't know if he's in the there he is.
Lost connection. Sorry.
Right. She said, "Oh shit, Drew's talking about guns. I'm out of this bitch."
I know, it was the worst timing ever. Fuck it, I'm out.
Damn. Can you all imagine if I'd have been drinking tonight? Fuck.
But no.
That
can't go into a shop and buy guns here. But folk are still getting shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the guy that I was talking about, Drew. What's his name? The one that does the Bob Ross paintings. How to paint like a Beto. How to paint like a feminist.
Yeah.
He talks about, he has this one video where he talks about an easy way to deal with the gun issue. And basically he just says arm everybody. And that the government is never even really need it. Nobody asked the government to step in. And the government puts their 2 cents in, but really, if everybody were to have a gun and somebody goes crazy with a gun, they got 20 guns pointed at them. So it's like, that's got to be about money too. It's just got to be about money too. It's the same thing with the heroin epidemic. Like I always think that, like all of a sudden heroin is big again, and Narcan's out now. Narcan is like it's got to be one of the biggest fucking sellers right now in Pennsylvania, medicine-wise. And what Narcan just brings people back.
In Chicago and New York, right? If gun control worked, we wouldn't have gun homicides in Chicago and New York because it's damn near impossible to get a license to carry a firearm in Chicago and New York. So if that was the case, there would be no gun deaths there. Why are they the 2 states with some of the highest fucking gun deaths? It's because criminals don't want to fight. Why do all these mass shootings take place in areas that you're not supposed to have a gun? Because they know that law-abiding citizens are not going to carry in those areas because they're following the letter of the law. If you're allowed to carry fucking everywhere and everybody's fucking armed, because let's face it, we have more guns than we have people in the United States. We have enough guns and ammunition that the Japanese during World War II could have easily launched an invasion on the coast of California immediately following Pearl Harbor. Do you know the reason that they didn't? The reason that the Japanese generals gave? They literally said, we would never send our military forces to mainland USA because we knew that behind every blade of grass would be a rifle and somebody that knew how to use it. The state of Texas, alone, if you just look at hunting registration, has the single largest standalone infantry army in the world. Just Texas. That nobody is ever going to invade America because we are so fucking saturated with guns. You don't have to worry about the military. The military is the least of your problems. You're going to have so many militia groups of citizens shoving rifles up your ass that it's going to be physically impossible. You're not going to be able to take over farmland. You're not going to be able to take over cities because you will have to kill literally every single fucking red-blooded American because we're going to be passing out guns that we don't have to produce. We don't have to build factories to make guns to arm the populace because we're already fucking armed. Like, so it's a saturation issue. Once you've gotten it so saturated, it's the same thing with drugs. Just make it illegal. Yeah, that's how we got everybody to stop doing heroin, is we made it illegal. Now nobody dies of heroin overdoses ever.
Yeah.
It's infallible fucking stupid logic is what it is. You're trying to apply logical reasoning on the exact opposite side of the spectrum than what you should be applying them to. And it's the same thing with fucking vaping. If you ban it, guess what? My mod doesn't stop working when fucking the governor of Georgia says, oh, vaping's been banned. This switch will still continue to fucking work. So they didn't disappear. All you did was create a black market for them. So now any tax money that you could have potentially levied to mitigate the losses of MSA payments, you get none of. And now I don't know where the fuck my juice comes from because it's not big companies that can get sued and put the fuck under and the owners can go to jail because it's a black market fucking product now.
Yep.
So I don't know what are the deaths coming from? Black market fucking THC. If fucking weed was legal everywhere and you could go into a dispensary in any fucking state and get your little fucking cart filled with THC concentrates, nobody would have died. But the logic's being applied to the backside of the fucking argument instead of the front side of the argument where it's supposed to be applied. So you're never going to get results in the fucking circle that we keep going in of, oh, somebody somewhere did some bad thing, ban all of it. You don't magically make it fucking disappear by passing a ban. It doesn't happen.
Albert says, man, homie can talk. Take a vape and breathe, brother. He did.
I told you guys I'd get fired up.
Dude, seriously, you need to be fucking on more channels. Speaking the truth like this, man. You do. So it's good that your channel is going to be getting used again.
On any fucking show they want and lay it all out for everybody. I can't run dark side. I've got 2 DUIs. I've done some fucked up shit in my life. I'll never hold public office.
Fuck's sake, like that makes a difference.
Yeah, look at Beto. Look at Francis Scott. Motherfucker got a DUI, fucking hit and run and all kinds of other shit. Yeah, you're damn right we're going to take your AR-15. You aren't, bitch. You're going to send somebody else to do it. I know damn well that motherfucker ain't knocking on nobody's front fucking door.
Yep.
Namaste.
We need more ASMR.
Our channel tonight. We're back to the ASMR portions.
Yeah, Casper, I'll come on and have a fucking shit. We can do it on my channel, your channel. I have no problem talking about any of it.
I am getting out of here in about 10 minutes. I got to get to bed because I work tomorrow. But yeah, we should do this more. There is, what was I going to say? I was going to say something stupid. Never mind. But I was just going to give you.
You're going to try and hand off host?
No. I'll probably shut it down. Because do you want to go live on your channel?
Yeah. I'll just fucking fire up StreamYard and go live on mine.
All right. So just so everybody knows before I forget, I'm going to go at 12 o'clock, which is in about 13 minutes. I'm going to shut this off. But Crazy Face McGee, Big G both have YouTube channels, both of them. They both got them. So anybody watching this replay, I know not a lot of people are watching right now, which I don't know what the hell happened with that. But anyway, people will watch this video. So
Not for long.
Maybe I'll just say like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll call it Tech Talk, ASMR Talk, and Raise Your Kids Right Talk.
You should just label it with hashtags. Hashtag ASMR, hashtag Tech Talk, hashtag politics.
There you go. Yeah.
All of you.
Casper Coils will be live tomorrow. Building coils. He's raising money for a loved one that needs medical assistance. We got the Vape Rye thing. I think a lot of people want to do something for the Vape Rye GoFundMe, and I think I'm just gonna have to talk to a couple of people because I don't want like somebody doing something and try to I don't want to override anything. The more the better. But if somebody's going to do a 24-hour stream, then everybody might as well just get on board of that. You know, there's no sense in having somebody doing a 24-hour stream and somebody else doing a stream at the same time, raising money for the same exact thing. So I got to talk to Fresh. I got to talk to, I'm sure Meter would want to do something. I know there's a lot of coil builders that want to do something. I would love to do.
When you talk to Fresh, bring up the idea of the 24-hour thing because I've done it once before, so yeah. I know I can run it. But now I actually know how to work OBS and all the other streaming services, so I won't have to have somebody set up a room or anything else.
Yeah, I was thinking of just to raise awareness and to get the link out there. A build off would be pretty cool, and the build off I would think of is like there would be like no like prizes or anything. Just I think it would be cool to incorporate the picture taking thing because I don't do that a lot at all. I don't get all hung up on how good pictures are. But if you were able to set up a good picture and have a coil at the same time, or maybe you give
pay fucking postage for people to send the coils to me for me to take pictures of them if they're not comfortable with it, if they want to participate in it.
Or even like Rye's pictures were like, he had apples and oranges and flowers. Dude, he has to have so much shit in a room. I don't know how they
He's gotta have props out the ass. For sure.
Yeah. There's got to be a whole room of like flowers, different colors. Like, can you go over to the purple rack and grab me flowers and grapes, please?
Right.
Just a lot of stuff,
dude. I like his style was so obviously his style though that you saw a post and you didn't have to see who posted it. You knew it was Vape Rye, especially his coffee stuff. It was always on like a darker wood background of like a table or something with like a white dish and a coffee cup set out on it, and it was like his style was so just his style, and that's fucking awesome. That's in my opinion one of the marks of a really good photographer is when you can see a picture from them and know whose picture it was.
Yeah. So I think that would be if. It would have to be also pictures, not just the coil. I think that's just right. And I was even thinking what would be pretty cool is if
it would be slightly problematic to do like juice pictures and stuff though. Like it could be pictures done like in his style, but then you're gonna run into the issues of having specific companies want to sponsor it for just their juice to be used or like other shit like that.
My first idea.
Make sure that it didn't happen.
Yeah, my first idea was something that I did for the Coil Wars build off, and that was somebody grab a picture of my build on my Instagram, grab any picture you want, any build you want, and just do your take on that build. What would be cool is Vape Rye didn't do like super intricate builds because he got into the photography part. He did intricate builds, but he would do good pictures. If you could try to stage the picture as best as you can to him, I think that would be a good little contest too. Like grab his picture and now try to do that build in that RDA, that picture, try to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that would also show how awesome he is, because it would probably be very hard. Especially his coil pictures are very dark.
Very contrasty.
Yeah. So that might be a good thing. It might be hard for some people, but I think it would still be fun for them. And it would also share his stuff. So that's another good thing about it, is it would share his artwork as well.
Yeah, like try and match his picture, that kind of thing. Like try and recreate it.
Yeah.
I like that.
So we'll have to figure out something. I mean, I don't always just want to do just the raising money thing. The raising money thing is great, but also just to,
Yeah,
show
something more of like a memorial type thing, I think would be, because they already have the GoFundMe set up, and I think that's great. But as a community, I think there's something we could do a little bit more meaningful than just money.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people would like to, because he really he definitely meant a lot to a lot of people. I mean, that's just the kind of guy he was. He just made other people feel good about what they're doing. Always wanted to make people laugh and stuff, and just wanted to share stuff with the community and shit like that. So I think a lot of people would like to do something with that.
Yeah.
I think that even goes without saying, really. So we'll think of something. I mean, it's not a super rush, but I mean, something's got to get done soon with the GoFundMe for sure. I'm glad somebody set it up, because I never know how to go about that. I've never set up a GoFundMe, so I don't know exactly what you need. And I imagine you have to get the family members to have their account, right? Because I can't just say I'm setting up a GoFundMe for Vape Ryan, and then all the money goes to me. That ain't right at all. So I'm always
I think it's his wife set up the GoFundMe.
Yeah. It's just because I know other people have set up GoFundMes for other people, So yeah, you would have to, and I would hate to have to add something like that. It's always a weird thing with me about that.
Yeah, even with the Braids for Blue thing, it was really weird to me to have money come into my PayPal that I then sent to Jess, but still, it was can't we just have it go to your PayPal so that none of the money ever comes through me at all? Because it's just asking for problems.
Yeah, and it's a fucking shame that it does, but it's true. There's people that are fucked up out there, and that's one of the first. I forget who I was talking to, but when they told me, I was like, we should do something. I'm sure the family's gonna a death at that age is never expected, so they're not I don't have life insurance. I was his age, so if something happened to me, I would hope that somebody did something, because my family ain't going to be able to afford it. So it's you want to do something, and then the first thing that somebody said is if we start raising money, people are going to think stuff. I was like, yeah, well, fuck them. Fuck them.
Exactly. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
No, I don't think any details or anything has been released even. Well, definitely none that I know of. I don't think it really matters, honestly. I mean, loss of life, he was younger than I am. I mean, I'm only 32, so I'm not super old or anything, but
it was heart attack.
Yeah, anytime somebody,
I didn't want to say, but yeah, it was, yeah.
Anytime anybody passes away at a young age like that unexpectedly, it's the case that if they had life insurance, they didn't have whole life, and they didn't have a lot of it. So even if they have life insurance, it might maybe cover funeral costs, but then if they're the main provider for the family, that's loss of income. You're not able to pay bills anymore. There's a whole host of other shit that goes into it. So it's, yeah, exactly. Clayton passed away is passed away. the causality of it really isn't all that important.
I mean, when I heard it, like I knew it wasn't something, it wasn't something crooked at all because I just know Rye. I just know that it was something sudden, and it was it wasn't like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that anybody that ever had a single interaction with him thought that, like, oh, Junkie OD'd or something like that. You know? I mean, nobody would have thought that had they ever spoken to him.
Yeah, I imagine if I died like today, people would start to think stuff because they know my history. But like that's like exactly not what I thought. I was like, wow. Like that was one of the last people. Like when you look at his age, you look at, he looked pretty healthy. That's what makes it really fucking sad is that like I would never expect that. I mean, I've been, he's young. He's fucking young.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to start saying who I would think before, but that's exactly what I think is like, wait, he died? What?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I know he ate healthy, like his parents owned up the restaurant and stuff. So I think his parents did. I know there was a family restaurant. I don't know whose it was.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
I only had the pleasure of talking to him maybe 3 or 4 times, like on a 1-to-1 basis. But I mean, he was always so extraordinarily positive about everything that like there would be no doubt in my mind of any like nefarious acts that he like. It would be such a fucking shocker to find out that he ever did anything bad in his entire life. Like it would blow me the fuck away because people like that are few and far between.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that I've ever heard of him. I didn't know personally, only ever chatted to him, YouTube chats, that type of thing. But the one thing that you keep hearing about him is the guy was just genuine, one of the most genuine dudes. Helped anybody out that asked. Didn't matter if he knew you or not, he would help you out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would always give out tips to people. I mean, he was doing build videos for a little bit on Instagram, and then he started doing photography videos. And like the one thing I always remember is if you look at, I'm going to make a playlist of the shows that I was on with him. And if you watch the show, he makes sure to tell everybody, like, if they're doing anything, he tells them how awesome it is that they're doing. Like, and like everybody, just make sure everybody knows, like, what they're doing is fucking cool or whatever. Always like looking to fucking tell somebody that they're doing a good job. But all right, guys. Everybody have a good night. Drew's gonna go live on his channel. I assume Big G is gonna follow.
If Drew will have me, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
All right.
problems.
So we'll have to do this again, but thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out,
Definitely.
guys.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks very much for having us on.
Yeah. What? Yeah. I'm gonna end this broadcast. I don't know if we stay in this room or not. I think we do.
Yeah, I think we do for a minute. I think
this is the first
takes
time
everybody
I did it with
back to
people.
the like broadcast page.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Talk to you later. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you. And broadcast.